Hi there, it's good to be back out on my old stomping ground of Ringing Low, just west of Sheffield. I've camped up here so many times. Just walked up Ringing Low Road. It's quite a slog up, but once you're up here, you've got most of you climbing out the way. Now, it is usually very busy round here. I mean, there's hundreds of people. Ringing Low Village has got the Norfolk Arms pub, and that attracts mountain bikers, dog walkers, walkers like myself, campers. So it is really popular, especially at a weekend. So, being retired, I have the advantage of coming up on a weekday, which does make a difference. Now, because I've camped up here so many times, I know loads of quiet little spots to camp, and that's where we'll be heading today. And I like to have a theme to my wild camps. It could be some history, it could be the views, or it could be food and drink. And this is a food and drink one. It's going to have an Italian theme, this one. Alright, there's no beaches. There's not much sunshine at the moment. There's no Mediterranean temperatures, and there's no dark-skinned girls on the beaches. But what it has got is Italian food and drink. So that's basically what it's about. A nice, relaxed, peaceful camp, plenty to eat and plenty to drink. I've got a great menu which I'll tell you about in a bit, and loads of different drinks to complement that menu. So, like I say, just ahead lies Ringing Low Village with the Norfolk Arms pub. We're going to walk straight past it. We're not going in. I've got plenty of drink in this rucksack. That's why it weighs so much, saying it's a summer camp. So I'm going to walk through Ringing Low Village, and then we'll head up onto the open moorland, and I'll think we'll find somewhere relaxing for a spot of lunch and perhaps a glass of wine, just to get into the swing of things. So I'll see you the other side of the village up on the moorland. Just walked up through Ringing Low Village. We're now going to head off across the open moorland. Now this area behind me, it's made up of moorland, just rough ground. Not many people actually wander across it because there's no actual footpaths, but hidden in there is some fantastic campsites. I think the area was once used for quarrying a couple hundred years ago, and there's lots of little quarries, and they make great secluded campsites. Trouble is, it's quite tough going because you've got to walk through the heather, the bracken, and it is quite hard going, but you get the best campsites. So I think we'll go and find somewhere for a spot of lunch. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, this looks the perfect spot to stop for a bit of a break. It's well hidden, well sheltered, just perfect, and I'm looking forward to a glass of wine. Right, we'll get everything unpacked. Wine glass. Gotta do it in style, bring a table. So we've got a selection of Italian cold meats, salami and cheeses. A little bit of bread. Bottle of Italian wine, should go down lovely. Even the sun's come out now, but perfect little spot to stop. But this would make a great little campsite. It is very near to the path, not that anybody would know, but it is a nice little spot. Anyway, we better crack open this wine, I think. A nice start to our Italian camp. Nice Italian ham. Cheers, So, this is the last glass, I can assure you, because the other half of the bottle has got to be for tonight. So, I'm going to leisurely enjoy this wine, and I'll see you on the path, and we'll head off to the evening campsite in a little bit. See you in a bit. Finally got going again. It was a lovely little spot, that sheltered. The sun had come out, and a couple of glasses of wine. I could have fallen asleep and stayed there quite a bit longer. I think the whole area was used for quarrying back in the probably 1800s. They used to quarry stone, flat pieces of stone, and use it for roofing materials. And then I think around 1860s, 70s, when the railways came to Sheffield, it allowed them to import probably Welsh slate, and that took over, and these quarries all died. But it left all these little quarries in little depressions in the ground, and for me they make great secluded campsite. Where we were sat having that drink of wine, we were probably 15 metres from a path with people walking by, but nobody would have known you were there. Just look at that fantastic view. You've the whole city laid out in front of you. Just beautiful. Pleased to say, we've arrived at our destination. A lovely hidden campsite. Can you not see me? I'm over here. Couldn't you see me? Come with me and I'll show you where we're gonna pitch the tent. Come here. Right, we've arrived at this little hidden campsite I was telling you about. It's another one of those little quarries used for quarrying roofing stone. That's a small piece. They are great for putting your stove on. So I found a few of these, and it'll make cooking a lot easier. Now we're going to be camping underneath that tree behind me. That is a rowan tree, commonly known as a mountain ash, and it's about one of the only sort of trees you find up here, but they seem to thrive very well. There is a lot of call it history behind the rowan tree, and I'll tell you about that a bit later on. Now the weather has taken a little bit of a turn. To think an hour ago we were sat in the sun enjoying a glass of wine, seemed to cloud over. We had a little shower, only probably about 5 minutes, enough to wet all the grass, I might add. It seems to have cleared up now, but it's gone very humid, and I can tell you I'm scared of midges. So I brought a tent with me. I brought my competition, Terra Nova competition laser 1. You could have bivvied up there, but you're out, and if those midges come for me, I need a safe haven to go to. So that is why I brought my tent. It's protection from the midges more than anything else. So I'm going to get my tent set up underneath the rowan tree, and then I think it might be about time for a pre-dinner drink, or Italian aperitivo. We're going to have Bellini, a very common classic Italian pre-dinner drink. Very simple to make, Prosecco and peach nectar. So hopefully that will refresh me, having gone to all this effort, climbed through all that heather, and once I've got the tent set up, it's time to relax. So what better time to have a drink? So we'll have that drink, and then we'll have a look at tonight's menu. So I'll see you in a little bit. It's a good feeling when you've got all your camp set out, and all you've got to do now is enjoy it. So we'll make a start with this classic Italian pre-dinner drink, Bellini. Now normally it's in a champagne flute, it's going to have to be in a mug. Got a bottle of Prosecco there, partly chilled because there is some frozen fish there. I don't sort of go together too well, them two, but I sealed the fish in a bag. So we've got peach nectar and Prosecco, and that is all that makes a Bellini. So trying to open this up, yeah, definitely a bit chilled. Not that I open many bottles of Prosecco. Whoa. Very refreshing. Alright, it might be a bit girly, Prosecco and peach nectar, isn't it? But no, it is very nice, and it is a classic Italian drink, so I had to have it. I think Bellini, it was first discovered, first made It was in 1948 in Harry's Bar in Venice. So look at all that information you're getting about a simple drink. I'll tell you tonight's menu. Now I love pasta, and that's what we've got as a starter. It's spaghetti vongole. Now vongole is basically a tomato sauce with baby clams in it, and I used to have that when we were on holiday many years ago with the lads. I'd eat that at lunchtime. It was cheap and it filled me up. So spaghetti vongole is for a starter. For the main course, we've got swordfish, and I've got to put some green with it, so we've got some asparagus. So that should make a nice main course. Obviously with drinks in between. I'm going to make this meal last. It's sort of late afternoon. I'm just going to have it could be 3-4 hours, something like that. And then for a dessert, we've got another classic Italian dish, Panacota. It's actually not any old Panacota. This is Marks and Spencer's Panacota, raspberry and vanilla, and it cost a fortune. But when I looked at the other supermarkets, they'd all got tiramisu, which I've had many a time before. Wanted something different. That's the only one I could find. So I put it through the checkout, and I never looked really. I just put it through and thought that will do. Anyway, I brought both pots, but yeah, it's not a normal Panacota. It's Marks and Spencer's Panacota. So that is the food we shall be having, and we've got a selection of drinks which I'll briefly show you now, which will sort of complement all the food. So that's just a quick look at the drinks we've got. Obviously we've got half a bottle of Chianti. There's a citrusy aperitivo from Starlino Hotel or something, Torino. Lemoncello, classic lemony after dinner drink. And Sambuca. I've never had Sambuca before, but I've read about it. So we will be trying those later on. Now, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression with all these drinks. I'm just trying to bring you the flavours of Italy, and that is why I brought quite a variety. That's the only reason, I can assure you. Well, we've got the starter on the go now, spaghetti vongole. I just keep swapping them over to the stove. The spaghetti's nearly done, a little bit more heat in there. Yep, that's done. So we're going to drain this. Get my plate ready. Gas off. Nearly lost it. That's a level. That's done with. And then the sauce. And there we have it. Spaghetti vongole. And eating spaghetti is an art, but practice makes perfect. It's just a little hot. That tastes so good. Cheers then. So we moved on to the next course now. Gently season it. It's actually swordfish. Which is, although it's a fish, it tastes like a steak. I've had it before, and it tastes very meaty, really meaty. It doesn't look a big piece, but that will fill you up. It's not like, to me, it's not like a normal fish. It's more like a steak. Also, time for a different drink. So we have here, I don't know much about this one, Hotel Starlino Aperitivo Churino Arancione. I just went for a load of Italian drinks. This is a citrusy, herby, spicy drink, often drank before a meal. Totally different taste, but yeah, it was nice. So to go with the swordfish, I've just got asparagus. It'll add to it, just something green. Looking forward to this. As you probably gather, I like trying different foods, and this, oh, it tastes lovely. It's like I say, it's fish, it's swordfish, but it's more like a steak. So you can see, wild camping food doesn't have to be basic. Wild camping food, it can be exactly how you want it. Pleased to say, all the washing up is done. So we've had our sort of main course, so I thought I'd try the Lemoncello. Got these little plastic shot glasses. Not that I drink shots, but they fitted the bill. Wow, that's lemony. As you can imagine, main ingredient, lemons. But it's good after a meal like the swordfish, yeah, clears your palate. Yes, they're very nice. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're sleeping underneath a rowan tree. Now, a rowan tree is steeped in folklore. It's basically a protection against witches. Not that all witches are bad. I mean, a lot of witches, they dealt with natural remedies and they cured people. They were the hedge witch, the village witch, but she would cure you. So not all witches are bad, but the rowan tree is supposed to give you protection against witches. People would carry the berries of the rowan, the hawthorn, and the alder, if I've got that right. The red berries, they would carry them round with them because they provided protection from witches. Also, rowan is very prominent in Greek mythology and Norse mythology. So yeah, it has got a long history about it. But you could say we are sleeping in a very safe place tonight, underneath a rowan tree. But it is also known as the portal tree. Now, the portal tree is a gateway to the other world, which might sound a bit scary, but yeah, it is known as the gateway tree. So who knows where we may end up tonight. I mean, personally, I was a little bit worried about the Sambuca, but perhaps I ought to be worried about this tree. I mean, we could be anywhere later on. We could end up anywhere. Scary stuff. Right. Enough of the rowan tree and the witches. It's daylight now. It's easy to talk about them. It might not be so easy later on. We're now going to have our sweet. So we have got raspberry and vanilla Panacota. But as you know, it is not any old raspberry and vanilla Panacota. It is Marks and Spencer's raspberry and vanilla Panacota, which cost an absolute fortune. So we'll have to try it. That is nice. That is nice and thick and fruity. I'll see you in a little bit. So, that's all the food gone, everything eaten. I've had a few drinks. Light's starting to drop a bit, so take my GoPro off. Got my Sony RX 100 on now. Seems to cope a lot better with the low light. So, the only drink we've got left is this Sambuca. Most countries would treat it as a aperitif in a way, but for Italy, it's digestivo or something like that. So you'd have it later on after a meal. So that's what we're going to do. And it is supposed to turn colour with a bit of water, as it does. I didn't know it tastes like that. It is exactly like pastis. But it just tastes nice, yeah. So, light's failing. We're going to bed soon. It's nice to be out here at this time of night. It's sort of dusk. The light is failing. It's a bit scary seeing all the midges about, but they seem to have left me alone. I can shut myself in here if they do start biting or anything like that, but I've sprayed myself with repellent and they seem to have left me alone. But I'm going to sit out here. I've got my drink to finish and then I might have a cup of coffee. Oh no, I've got some hot chocolate. I brought specially, not Italian at all, but I fancied a good drink of hot chocolate before I go to bed. I find coffee can keep you awake, so I thought I'll have a big hot chocolate before I go to bed and hopefully get a good night's sleep. So, I'll see you in the morning. Good night then. Buongiorno. What a great night's sleep. Slept like a log. I must have gone to sleep about 10:30. Didn't wake up till 6 o'clock. Well protected by this rowan tree. Looked after me last night, it did. Anyway, forecast isn't fantastic. Chance of rain. So I think we'll have a cup of coffee and then we'll have a look at the frittata. Get the frying pan on and get that made up. Beautiful. Just what I need to wake me up. Right, what are we having? Frittata. Got some eggs, potatoes, cheese. A frying pan. I'm gonna find it. Some oil. So that's all we need. I'll get everything prepared. I'm gonna boil the potatoes initially. Mix it up with the eggs. Straight into the frying pan, and hopefully that'll give me really tasty breakfast. So we've got salt and pepper. Well, I did put a bit in when I was preparing the eggs, but so it's just a matter of cooking that. You are supposed to flip it over. I'm not decided whether to toss it. I might just try and turn it over. I don't want it to land in the heather. It's looking good. I've got to turn this over. Yeah, I think we'll say that's done. So, Well, it looks okay. Perfect breakfast. Italian frittata and a cup of coffee. Can't go wrong with that. Very nice breakfast. I know I should have put in parsley. I just didn't like the idea of parsley in an omelette. I thought of chives, I thought they might be nice, and then in the end I didn't get either. So I'll come back to basically when I've got everything tidied up, everything packed away, ready to set off home really. See you in a little bit then. That's everything packed away. I'm pleased to say, managed to get most of it packed away in the dry, but it is starting to rain at the moment. Luckily, this rowan tree is still offering me protection. It's been a good tree, this. So my rucksack is a lot lighter, although I have got a very large bag of rubbish, and I've got to walk through the wet grass to get back to the road, but it's not far to get home then. So I hope you've enjoyed my little Italian camp, something a little bit different. I know in the past I did do a French camp and we had some lovely French food. This was Italian, so what next? Probably Spanish or German, I would think. One for the future. I must apologise to the whole Italian population for my bad pronunciation. I have trouble with the English language, so I've no chance with something like Italian. But such a lovely country and such lovely food. I hope to visit it again soon. So I'm going to head off and I'll see you on the next wild camp, probably August time, something like that. We'll have to see where we might end up. So if I could thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye then.